and moved.
Hold on now. Oh, I can't see nothing. Where my goddamn got down? There we go. There we go. There we go. Ain't gonna lie. What's up? All right, so I got food, so I'm gonna eat. I'm hungry. I got a, I got this 4 terabyte. Right, I got this. Why am I looking there? I got this 4 terabyte hard drive. It's dusty. I I think you gonna die. You gonna die. You gonna die. My bad. That was an ant. I had it clean because I had got some ants. Yo, these little niggas is out of pocket. But ain't gonna lie, they all gonna die. They keep fucking around with me. Especially fucking around in my workstation. What? They was on my 3D printer. They was, oh my god, these niggas took a fucking fast track up to the top of the table. Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And even if I tell you the story when I first came in here, when they oh my god, I picked up my juice. I didn't even know it was hot as shit, and I picked up my juice, and these motherfuckers damn near was on my lip because I drunk the juice. I swear I drunk ants. Like I ain't even joking. See, that's that Lulu blue 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 whatever this doll is shit. It threw some of this energy from a distance. Somebody on my block must have one of them little bitch ass dolls. Let me plug this hard drive in and see if this motherfucker fire up. I got an iPhone, I don't know what charging, and I got an iPhone 8 charging. I got an iPhone 12 charging. I'm about to get, um, I gotta get a new phone. So, my brother, what's wrong with my skipping? Am I skipping? I don't wanna be skipping. I ain't even got nothing open to be skipping. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. But, it's some bullshit. It don't seem like it's lagging. I don't feel like it. Look at her. Look at it. Oh, hold up. My shit ain't even moving right there. Original Man Philosophy. Thank you for the subscription. Subscribe to my YouTube page. It was 2 days ago, so I missed it. But I'm glad I see it now. Thank you, brother. Alright, so let me fix this shit. It's like, this shit is wild. Ain't gonna lie. There we go. Alright, we back to it. See, it got this skipping shit. Don't be skipping. Chill out, bro. Chill out. That was 2 minutes ago. Chill out. Alright, my face moving good. Anyway, so iPhone, I don't know what. iPhone 8, iPhone 12, my iPhone 11. That shit broke. I don't ever have an up to date iPhone. Now, whatever this is in the 8, I'm not using. I want to see if I can get the 8 unlocked. The 12, I wish I could get that unlocked. But, um, yeah, whatever. So, I wonder if this hard drive picking up. Let's see if that's picking up. Ooh. Ooh. I think it did. No, what is this? No, that's a memory card. It's my regulars. It's the GoPro. We got the iPhone 8. It say trust. Yeah, we Gucci. We GG's. Come on, man, with the skipping shit. Alright. Alright. Detected 30% over the last one. Alright, let's get to this joint. Let's try to get to this joint. Let's try to get to this joint. Let's get to this joint.
Moved
So
around.
what we want to talk about right now is Labubu. I'm gonna go with this little video first. Let's go with this little video first. Oh, hold up. You might
Why would you give your child a demon? Well, by demon, people mean Labubu dolls. These toys became extremely popular in recent years, especially across social media platforms where collectors love showing off their quirky looks. If you've never heard of Labubu, it's a collectible toy designed by artist Casing Lung. Fans adore them for their distinctive and whimsical appearance, and they are based on Nordic folklore, specifically elves. However, not everyone thinks Labubu is harmless entertainment.
Theories that these dolls are actually demonic have recently surfaced on TikTok and other social media platforms.
People started comparing Labubu dolls to Annabelle, the famously haunted doll from horror movies. The theory goes, owning a Labubu might actually invite demons into your home or cause supernatural trouble, much like Annabelle. This sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, but it's taken pretty seriously by many users. One TikTok even showed someone's little sister bringing her Labubu doll to church to be cleansed.
Yo, she hit that thing with the holy water. She said, nah, we ain't even feeling all this. We ain't even gonna be doing all this acting to my crib, cuz. None of that. I ain't on none of that. We ain't on none of that. Hey, Mel. Don't go with this skipper shit. We ain't having that. Yo, she took the joint and dabbed the holy water on homie and said, bruh, don't be bringing that dumb shit in my house, kid. You know what I mean? She said, I'm going to Jesus. We took him to the, you know what I mean? She had to, though. They something crazy about these dogs. But this is a little video. We're going to get another video popping on here, too, so we can hear more.
While clearly made as a joke, from a religious viewpoint, taking something believed to be demonic to church theoretically would purify it, right? The joke has layers, but it's interesting how seriously some people took this. Things escalated after a clip featuring a priest discussing Labubu went viral. In the interview, he warned parents that the dolls celebrate demons, urging families not to let their children own one. Once reposted on TikTok, his words convinced many people who might have otherwise dismissed the idea. Then came yet another round of conspiracy theories that connected the Mesopotamian demon Pazuzu to Labubu dolls. In actuality, however, Pazuzu has nothing to do with Labubu's beginnings.
Are you gonna get demon possessed by owning a Labubu? Probably not, but could you get nightmares? Could you get sleep paralysis? Could you be bringing in spirits into your home? Very well.
Regardless of your stance on these theories, Labubu dolls are...
Side note, it opened. It opened. I seen that shit skipping. I ain't like that. Damn. Damn, I could hook this bitch up to the Wi-Fi and everything. I'm gonna let these joints charge you. Damn, what company is it? Yo, touching shit is so wild. This shit say 7:01 a.m. Damn, this shit got my ex number in here. All that, yo. It's starting to respond a little better. This shit got DJ Alamo shit in here? Where's settings in this bitch? You thought you was slick. Dying out this bitch. Y'all niggas ain't gonna get it. Stop coming to fuck around, pussy. Think I'm sleeping? I'm paying attention. I see you little ants. You niggas is dying, bro. Anyway, so I can't even say the name correctly. Well, from this little video, they just highlighting what people have done or whatever like that. Let's go to another one, man. I don't even like this little video. Let's go to another one. Now, the one I really... Wait. What was all that shit? Really? Really?
In the age of TikTok trends and viral superstition,
Come on, cuz. Like, what the fuck? What, like, I'm not even
few
doing
things
anything.
travel faster than a spooky story. Enter the Labubu doll craze, an internet-fueled panic claiming that ancient demons like Pazuzu have somehow found their way into children's toys. Frequent viewers know that I've spoken about Pazuzu before, most recently in a video I made about the Labubu. Imagine my disbelief that I'd be revisiting such a deity not to explore his origins and his character, but to explain why Pazuzu isn't inhabiting whatever the hell these things are. To be fair, I didn't have to make the video at all. I just couldn't stand the conceitedness of people posting stuff like this without knowing anything about the ancient stories, and probably only being aware about Pazuzu in the first place because either The Simpsons did it or because the entity was used in The Exorcist.
I am Pazuzu.
But on the flip side, I'm kind of pleased because suddenly people are interested in the old gods, which if you're new to this channel, that's pretty much our thing around here. So I thought I'd do this episode hoping to shed some light on the actual mythology behind Pazuzu, who whilst was considered by some to be a demon of wind and pestilence, was also considered to be a protector against wicked spirits. Pazuzu was a deity belonging to the Babylonians and the Assyrians sometime through the 1st century. Indeed, an evil deity, it cannot be overlooked, but not so evil that he can be adequately conflated with, say, the likes of the biblical devil. You see, Pazuzu was the entity responsible for bringing the more destructive winds upon the earth. The Mesopotamians had no way of explaining why the wind could be gentle sometimes and absolutely ruinous at other times, and so Pazuzu became an adequate means by which the weather could be understood. In fact, Pazuzu was known to be in control specifically of the southwest winds, those which brought famine during the dry season and storms during the rainy seasons. Not exactly the most favourable traits to be known for. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that with this notion of being the bringer of destructive winds, the Mesopotamians would surely fear him. At the very least, they wouldn't go about praying to him. But that's where you'd be wrong. You see, despite being a demonic entity with such destructive habits, he was therefore also considered to be the best entity to consult when it came to avoiding said carnage. Put simply, the Mesopotamians could invoke Pazuzu to protect them from his terrible wrath, not at all unlike how the Egyptians might have prayed to the god Set, in an effort to divert or lessen the devastation brought about by his storms. Sure, he was the one bringing about these natural calamities, but if you were on his good side, there was a chance you might have weathered the winds unscathed.
So wait. Everybody's associating Brody to this da in a negative way, but he sounds like he's what he's associated with can cause destruction, but if you treat him nicely, or like a human, or like, you know what I'm saying, like an equal, then he did bless you. He got love for you.
But Pazuzu wasn't just
That's what it
responsible
sounded
for
like.
these southwesterly winds, no. For the ancient Mesopotamians,
I got water.
Pazuzu had a much more
I want some
protective
sugar.
role, fending off not only other wicked spirits, but also establishing himself as the main opposition towards one of the more sinister demons within the mythology, Lamashtu. Lamashtu was a deity that was believed to feed on the blood and or flesh of infants, and was widely found to be the reason by the Mesopotamians.
What? What? Feed on the flesh of infants. We gotta make sure we get his name correct. I think Mito should look into him. I mean, I'll look into him, but eating babies.
As to why women miscarried and why cot deaths transpired. To be honest, if you wanted to blame modern day superstition on anyone, Lamashtu is probably the more applicable deity.
The
She
monster.
was believed to manifest in the night, and
Yeah,
in a
actually,
similar
what to
vein to the
say.
succubus, could even torment men in their sleep, infiltrating their dreams and killing them too. What's more, she enabled her hordes of spirits, the Lilith and the Lilutu, to hunt mankind in the very same way. Winged spirits that were also believed to carry diseases. Indeed, the common belief is that Lamashtu was a demoness, but another idea exists that as she was able to commit such transgressions on a grand scale, without the other gods getting involved to stop her, it's possible that she
I ain't even gonna front. This is like eye opening. How many women out here have Lamashtu inside of them, or one of her little yinglings and shit, whatever the fuck they was called? Watch your bitch.
was a goddess herself, an evil one at least. For the Mesopotamians, it wasn't uncommon for them to take protections against Lamashtu and her minions, using amulets, talismans, and even incantation bowls, for
She
which
need
to
her
trap
own
these
video.
entities should they have
Yeah.
ventured into their
This just got
property.
deep.
But when all else failed, the Mesopotamians had confidence that they could rely on Pazuzu. Perhaps in this regard, it took one wicked deity to defeat another, and that whilst Pazuzu was evil, in the sense that he brought forth the violent winds, this was an unavoidable reality, and not something he did with malice or with a particular target in mind. The same could not be said for Lamashtu, a wicked deity by definition, who hunted those who could much less defend themselves from the
My
attacks
bad.
of
This
other
old
men,
phone alarm
let
keep going
alone
off.
a demonic deity. It can be theorized that Pazuzu was created specifically as a counter to Lamashtu, or was at least repurposed for this undertaking. As mentioned, it's theorized that Lamashtu may not have been a demoness, considering her ability to run such amok on the earth, but that she might very well have been a goddess in her own right. Yet by the end of the Bronze Age, she was seemingly relegated to a lesser demonic classification, becoming one of her own Lilu demons. With Pazuzu emerging around the same time as this, it has been speculated that Pazuzu's role quickly changed into something more beneficial. With that being said, it was soon believed that Pazuzu had become something of an unwitting defender of the people, one who had the power to not only defeat Lamashtu, should she have ventured into a settlement, but to have actually banished her back to the underworld. In other beliefs, Pazuzu was known for catching the spirits of Lamashtu, the Lilith and the Lilitu, by which he would rip off their wings and leave them to die. Pazuzu would become such a beacon of protection for the Mesopotamians that even his physical features alone could be enough to dissuade other spirits from bothering their property. He was often drawn with a rather dog-like face, with bulging eyes and a serpentine body, but he also had aspects of a bird's anatomy, sometimes with a beak, talons and wings. In fact, his relation to other demons may give you some indication as to how terrifying.
Hold up. Listen, right? Listen. These phone calls. This phone call is from a nice lady named Latoya. As far as I know. And no, she is a nice lady. But when I went through financial aid to try to get into these business classes, yo, $90,000, and even if I didn't, and they got something from pharmacy tech school that's still on record since 2009. That's 10 years. I'm not paying that shit. Fuck out of here. And y'all couldn't even give me a job back then. Fuck you. She called me because I signed up for some business stuff. But at the end of the day, when I talk to her, I might have to tell her, he told me $90,000 straight out cash. Do I want to do this? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm going to get on what I've been on. I'm going to learn on my own. I'm learning this AI stuff. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have it. I don't have it to do it. I don't have $90,000 just to be throwing at some school. That I don't have. So I need to turn the volume down. Cause that shit just. That shit just crazy, yo. Like $90,000. All these prices for these books, like, nah, I'm good. Y'all got it. I tried. I tried. But I ain't pushing myself to the max. Let's get back to the homie right here, cause Pazuzu don't seem like a fuck. Damn shit, just leaking and shit. Pazuzu ain't seeming like that bad of a guy right about now.
He may have appeared to people, for in some texts he is detailed as being the nephew of Humbaba, the very same Humbaba found in the Epic of Gilgamesh, who was known to have been so fiendish and so monstrous that even the heroes Gilgamesh and Enkidu come to fret over him. Much of his role in various protective rituals is found within inscriptions on the backs of his statues, consisting of spells, incantations, as well as various artifacts that could be worn to gain his favour. Large Pazuzu heads have been uncovered, usually from terracotta, which possess various loops and holes that allow for them to be worn as necklaces, usually perceived to have been typically worn by pregnant women, hoping to ward away Lamashtu and her evil spirits, and thus ensure she did not miscarriage. Associating demons to dolls isn't anything new, it's something that's demonstrated in many different cultures around the world, not just in Christianity. Some believe that the human aspect of the dolls allow for them to serve as vessels for wandering souls, who weren't able to leave this plane, whilst others see them as tools capable of harbouring energies that can turn out to be malevolent. I mean, I get it. Some dolls are just creepy looking, and if any inanimate object in your house is going to get possessed by something, it probably would be a doll. I mean, no one's ever been haunted by a chair or a kettle before, right?
I
know others can associate dolls and other collectibles with idols and warn of the danger and risk they possess in being put before God. But from my understanding, as long as one isn't worshipping these items, then it's generally okay to have them. But of course, others...
No, people are worshiping these items. Like, come on now. If a store opens up and you go to get this item, and 15 minutes after the store opened up, the whole, whatever dispensary drawn is empty. That's a problem, yo. That is a serious problem. People need to get it together and not... This phone going crazy, cuz. Like, I need to, like, figure out... I'm about to connect it to the Wi-Fi. I ain't even fronting. But anyway, people are worshiping these dimes. Like that girl that had the video, she bought Louis Vuitton t-shirts, shoes, loafers to match her. What if you doing that, right? Now let's just say, what if you doing that, right? And you actually are creating a doll that can control you. Like that, the witchcraft and all that. What if you're doing that by making it dress like you? And then another thing, the Jordan that's wild and the one that Pazuzu be, Labubu, whatever her name is, we're going to get it again. Because we need to talk about her. Maybe she's actually in this. Maybe it's a ruse. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of them Trojan horse things. Maybe they make it look like Pazuzu or associated with Pazuzu when it's actually, I was going to say Lilith. But whatever her name is, maybe it's her.
Including many parents on TikTok from what I can see, are worried that the Labubu dolls are generally demonic and have some kind of insidious effect on the household. Can this be verified beyond anecdotal accounts? Well, first we can dismiss the supernatural aspect around these dolls by understanding exactly where they came from. These are not some antiques that were discovered at the bottom of the Dead Sea. No, they were designed by Hong Kong-based artist Kasim Lung, who stated that the design was inspired by Nordic mythology, further elaborating that these creatures were based off of elves. Since then, religious influencers began expressing concern about these origins, noting that Nordic folklore is a part of pagan culture, and therefore demonic. With that, you can join the dots to see why some religious folk have shunned the Labubu dolls, and has further given credence to the ideas that these dolls are evil. Such a belief isn't new to Labubu dolls. Many communities had a problem with Harry Potter when it first released because it promoted witchcraft, and other communities had problems with Pokemon because it promoted evolution. So where does Pazuzu fit in all of this? Well, disappointingly, I found out about a now deleted TikTok video that depicts an image of a Labubu doll and an AI generated image of a generic demon, meant to represent Pazuzu. The user suggested that there was a relation between the two, pretty much declaring that the Labubu dolls were based on Pazuzu. This seems to be from where it all started, with many other users seeing this, believing it was legit, and then reposting it with warnings and various bits of advice. As we can see though, we know that Pazuzu looked nothing like this depiction. To be honest, it looks like they've just ripped off how I normally display demons in my videos with that parchment paper background. But anyway, we have actual evidence of Pazuzu's iconography. We know he had bird-like talons, wings, and a more animalistic face, and to be honest, I think if they had just used a more authentic image of him, they might have been more successful in spreading whatever propaganda they were trying to spread. What strikes me about this is, why Pazuzu? I mean, this person could have picked any demon from any time period. Why someone as obscure and ancient as Pazuzu? Well, I considered two reasons. The first is that Pazuzu serves as the main antagonist in the Exorcist movie, which would have done a lot in raising the entity's profile, in the same way it's done recently for the likes of the demons Valak, Moloch, and Paimon. The second reason comes from The Simpsons' Treehouse of Horror 28. Where we see Homer get a last minute gift from Maggie of an idol of Pazuzu that ends up possessing her. Ironically, it's actually a pretty well researched episode. We know that these sorts of items were and still are being found in dig sites across the Mesopotamian regions, and they even make some pretty relevant jokes.
Wait, so you're not even as powerful as the south wind or the west wind? How lame is that?
But we know from the ancient text that Pazuzu didn't possess people. Probably wouldn't have possessed a child, seeing as he'd spent so much time chasing away Lamashtu on their behalf. It's therefore possible that the original poster saw one of these two examples and then just ran with it. It's also possible that they thought Pazuzu sounds like Labubu and just went.
I would go that they went with that name and then that AI generated picture. But let's go back so we can make sure we get her name.
Time chasing away Lamashtu on their.
Lamashtu. Now, he's a protector, but he can bring famine. But he's a protector. She does nothing good in any way, shape, or form. She stalks men in her dreams, does stuff to women, miscarriages, all types of stuff. Lamashtu and Pazuzu. Pazuzu is actually, he has a dark side, but he balances it out. He's a protector also. She's not. Look at the fupa. Bro got basically abs. Look at the fupa. And she goofy as shit. Goofy bitch. Pointing her finger. Always laughing at somebody. Silly bitch. Athletic. Ready to go. Look at his wings. Look great. Y'all associating this motherfucker with that demon dog? Diabolical. Y'all really should associate Lamashtu. Lamashtu is the one that caused that stuff. Because who's buying this dime majority of the time? Women. So if y'all wanted to associate any demon with this dog, it would be that one, Lamashtu, not Pazuzu. And I'm glad I watched this video instead, because I was going to watch the two that was on top of each other, the 2-minute one and then the other one. But then I saw this one, and I'm watching it, and I'm glad that I watched the Legends of History. For real, because he just gave a great lesson. Like, I said some stuff I ain't say too much, and I've been fighting with this phone. But realistically, I'm glad that I got to watch this one instead of the other one. So then I didn't make a video just, oh, this demonic doll. In reality, the doll still can be off the chain. But I know, I got a feeling that, just like he said, he knows for a fact. But I got a feeling he's right. It's not Pazuzu. But I would point the finger at this one. because that one, the Mashu, that one is doing all the things that would be associated with that doll being negative, causing issues. Nah, we don't trust you, bitch.
Behalf. It's therefore possible that the original poster saw one of these two examples and then just ran with it.
Had to.
It's also possible that they thought Pazuzu sounds like Labubu and
Had
just
to.
went with the phonetic similarity, but who knows? Unfortunately, it's led some people to actually believing them, and so hopefully they'll make their way around to this video at some point and understand that Pazuzu isn't as bad as you might seem at first. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still a creature capable of mass devastation if he was to actually manifest, but at least you know he's probably not going to be lurking around in some weird looking overpriced dolls. In any case, let me know your thoughts about
Yo, no bullshit. Like I said, they associating this shit with the wrong demon. See, I was going to watch this joint. And maybe I should, just to like...
Moved around, typical of demonic objects.
Let's see. We gonna watch it. This one is kind of long. This review is kind of long.
Moved around,
we out here, though. You with me? You with me?
Demonic objects, when you bring them into your house, they cause all this paranormal activity to happen. So they're saying that it's the doll's fault. Now, I don't have one of these dolls. I can only go by what I see on the internet. But what we can do is do a little bit of research.
You see, I was watching a little bit already. Now, what's his research going to be? Come on.
Who the creator of these dolls are and what brought about the need for him to make these dolls. So let's go ahead and let's find this out, because this is what's very important to find out if there really is demonic activity behind these dolls. So first of all, what are Labubu dolls? Labubu dolls were created by Hong Kong-based artist Casing Lung in collaboration with the designer toy brand Pop Mart. Labubu is one of many characters from his fantasy series called The Monsters. The character is mischievous, forest-dwelling, and intentionally designed to be odd, mixing cuteness with eerie features like a toothy grin and wide, staring eyes. Now, when I looked at this doll, the teeth did it for me, and those big old eyes. I was like, if I'm a kid looking at this, it kind of reminds me of Chucky.
Hi, I'm Charlie. Wanna play?
You made me do this.
But Chucky had a demonic spirit. So when I look at these dolls, even though they're not as probably intimidating and scary as Chucky, I can look at the face and, you know, I'm like, okay, first of all, if there's a mischievous anything behind it, that's not good. That means deception. So right there, the creator has made this doll with deception in mind. And anywhere there's deception, there's the enemy. There's witchcraft. So I don't know what this man believes, but I can almost guarantee you he's probably not a Christian just because of what he's created. But we need to go into this a little bit deeper. So let's look at the artistic inspiration behind these dolls. Casing Lung has said Labubu was inspired by European fairy tales, particularly darker, whimsical stories like Where the Wild Things Are and North.
Yo, and that's crazy. I watched, I think it was a music video that had it, Where the Wild Things Are. And like, I like that joint. If this is what it's being kind of like mimicked after, then I don't know. Hold up. My bad. Okay. See, now there's the big similarities. Big similarities. These got flat faces. Still big similarities. I just don't understand, though, why you would connect Pazuzu to this. And the monster, she is way more. That's why I feel like it's like swap a body or something.
Nordic
Well, not bodies.
folklore. Labubu isn't from any ancient myth or cult. It's a product of storytelling, childhood imagination, and unique artistic expression. But the character's creepy, cute style has
Creepy.
sparked controversy. You see
It
this,
ain't
it
that
says
creepy, though.
Nordic folklore. It says fairy tales. So if you know anything about Nordic folklore, there's a lot of demonic elements to it. And it's almost like Greek mythology, the little god stuff. These gods who were getting prayed to because they brought fertility, they helped the land, they calmed the sea, all this stuff, right? That obviously our God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, he does it way better, okay? But these false gods were big inspirations back in the day. So just knowing this about this guy is enough for me to say that what is behind the inspiration of this doll is not holy, is not pure, and is not righteous. And if you know anything about other religions like Santeria or any other witchcraft religion, they're big on idolatry. There's one demonic spirit in Santeria called Iligua, and he's like a mischievous, stealing Joker type. When I read about this doll having that mischievous attitude, I think of stuff like that. So if you bring those idols in, demonic activity comes. If you're involved in Santeria, you'll start having paranormal activity. You can't sleep at night. You start to notice that you get health issues, just all kinds of things. Your family goes all out of whack. That's what happens when you bring demonic items in your home. And just from reading what I read right here is enough for me to tell you, if these dolls are in your house, more than likely there's going to be some demonic spirit that's probably going to come with them. This is one of the biggest keys I can tell you. You know that you don't have.
So, just having one of these. I ain't gonna lie, that one look dope. That one looks dope. That one looks dope. Just having them in the house is just gonna bring a demonic situation. These are dolls. These are toys. These are nothing more. But when you create that narrative, that mindset, that idea, then it transfers. But it's not gonna stop people from buying it. You know what I mean? Even me saying, oh, maybe it's Lamashtu. Maybe it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's still all in all. Creating that type of narrative, there's going to be somebody out there that dives into that. If there's one person, there's 10 people. If there's 10 people, there's 100 people. If there's 100 people, there is 50,000 probably people that will believe that notion. And 50,000 is enough to influence another 50,000, which 100,000 turns into another 100,000. So at some point in time, you're going to hit the millions, maybe 1 million of people who believe that this thing is demonic. And if it hits a point where it gets stop getting bought, it's just another product that doesn't get bought anymore. But you think about it, right? I'm not saying that these dolls were demonic. Tickle Me Elmo, even old Cabbage Patch dolls. When they made action job figures of like politicians, presidents, stuff like that, or whatever. You don't know. You buying this stuff with the notion of it's cute, it's a toy, or an action figure, or something that you will want to keep, a souvenir, a collector's item. That's how you collect them. But once they lose that that hype, it's just gonna be another doll. Now, if it starts doing some weird shit at that point, then yeah, you got an issue. But I mean, right now it seems like you can buy it and resell it at the high price. But in the future, will you be able to do that same thing? Because you know how some stuff they lose their value, and it's not that way no more. I don't know. He's associated with demonic stuff off the top. I don't know.
Have any demonic activity going on now, but
I
you
ain't buying
bring
one,
in
though.
this
I don't
doll,
really-
and all of a sudden you're
It's
getting
irrelevant. I don't need this
anxiety.
shit.
All of a sudden your kids are acting rebellious, they're acting out, they're becoming addicted to these dolls. If you see these kind of things happening, then you
Addicted. People are already addicted to mad shit. Damn, they got little ones. See, this is how you know it got big. Because they got all different types. You know what I mean? And they used to do this with so many different dolls. You know, in the past, they've been introducing it. Like, I keep going back to Tickle Me Elmo, but I remember when Tickle Me Elmo came out, and then they put out the bilingual version, the Spanish version. And I was like, oh, y'all just going, you know what I mean? Maximize it. Which made sense. You're maximizing the product. You're giving it more life. Like I said, man, let's see. I want to see if he really pushes it to because he already said he feels those
you
the
can
demonic thing in a way.
guarantee there is witchcraft influence behind the doll, and you need to get rid of it ASAP. Now, when you explain it to your kids, you're going to have to explain it to them in a way that they'll understand. Hey, I want to show you, like, take them to the computer.
Really? You want to explain it to the child so they understand. This toy is going bye-bye. Go get you something else. It ain't good for you.
Show them what the information is that will show them that.
No, I'm not like. I mean, I'm just saying I ain't got no kids, I ain't got no children. But if I did, I'm not about to show my child a video of how this doll is connected to being demonic in any way, shape, or form. So then you're gonna have me. I mean, I'm not a parent, but you're gonna have me awake for nights on end because this little motherfucker is gonna think that somebody's gonna come in this room through any doll, any action figure, and take them away. I'm not creating that. Little people have a very strong imagination. Motherfucker might pop up and snatch me. No, you bugging, boy.
These dolls have demonic influence behind them.
Bro,
Show them
bugging.
about the inspiration of the person who created them and things like that. Source is everything. When you find the source of the creator of that doll, you'll find out what has been put behind the doll, what inspiration is there. So if the person who created the doll had demonic inspiration, then you can guarantee that these dolls are going to also have demonic things with it. So when you're explaining this to your children, just explain how this is not going to be helpful to them. And when we allow demonic items into our home, it's like an open, free invitation for demon spirits to come in and to afflict us and attack us. Letting things happen that you don't need to let happen. It's just unnecessary torment for what? Are you going to get a demon because you allow the items in your home? No, not necessarily, but you're going to allow a demon to oppress you on the outside. And if you idolize the doll long enough, it can get on the inside of you. But if you're getting this revelation now, watching this video, my recommendation would be get rid of it, burn it, throw it away, make sure nobody else can get their hands on it. Okay. Again, the only reason I'm on here talking about this is because I saw it started to trend again. And I'm just coming as somebody who is inspired by the Holy Spirit, who wants people to walk right and not walk into bondage, but walk in victory that Jesus Christ has given us at the cross of Calvary. I'm just coming on here to warn you and to let you know you don't want these demonic items in your house. Now, the Labubu doll might be cute to some people, desire for that. Now, some people will say, what about superhero toys and things like that? We don't have to be so demon conscious that we can't even be in this world or have Superman or, Wolverine or anything like that.
Hold on now. Hold on now. Slow them horses the fuck up. Now, you trying to ride everybody to the heavenly gates and leave the boo-boo in the past. Feel you. But, if you want to take that dog and say, hey, that's demonic, then you should actually look into Superman, Batman. I mean, Chucky didn't look like he would be possessed, but what was he doing? What was his name? Something Ray, I think. What was Chucky's name? You know, what was his real name? Not Chucky. No, not Charles. Charles Lee Ray. Charles Lee. I think the name was Charles Lee Ray. Please, let me know in the comments. Charles Lee Ray, was that his name? Bro, it could be anything. You can't guarantee that, bro. All right, man. Listen, we on some real shit. I'm gonna go with. This is my thoughts, right? Pizuzu, he on the dark side, but he also can be the homie. So that's like the homie that's gonna talk shit to you. You feel me? Lamashtu, that is a wild bitch. We don't even know who got Lamashtu in her. You feel me? So we need to figure that shit out. It could be your mother, your girl, your daughter. It could be anybody, but she resides in women. Well, not all women, but she out there. You feel me? And she got some young ones running the fuck around, doing her bidding. And see, motherfuckers be thinking that this shit ain't even out there in the world right now. It's so passive. It's not. Because back then, these things, these demons, gods, whatever whatever he was back then, people had a strong belief in them, which actually made them probably come to light. Because If I wanted a car made out of paper, I could make a car out of paper. I can make that happen. I can materialize that. I can think it, see it, and then build it. How come people can't build things without even moving their hands? In reality, they can. They build ideas. They can build fear. And that's what this seems like this is. It's building some type of fear. But that fear can come to life for real. So you gotta be, listen, I'm telling you, your imagination is fucking strong, man. Stop sleeping on your shit. And what's his name? Let me see what his name is. The Supernatural Life. You know what I mean? I know I don't have anything against him at all. This, you know what I'm saying? This is a video talking about Labubu. But I don't think that Pazuzu, and I'm glad he didn't bring up Pazuzu at all. So I'm glad he didn't even do that. He didn't even go in that direction. He just went in the direction of what he seen, heard, and things like that, and just was expressing it. But he definitely has picked a side. And, it ain't wrong. I mean, it's just a dog. We can pick a side. But me personally, I agree with him on the point that I ain't buying this shit. It's worthless. But I don't know. I don't want to go with just. I'm definitely not blaming Pazuzu. I'm telling you, the monster, man. It's the monster. If any